Hey everyone, this is Miss King with some tips and tricks on the reaction energy gizmo. Once you get logged into Gizmo, this is the activity you're looking for, reaction energy. Let's open that up. Now that the simulation's loaded, let's take a look. Right here, this big copper apparatus is called a bomb calorimeter. This inside portion where the sample is, that's called a bomb. It has two wires coming down, which will give a spark to try and give the energy for a reaction. Around it, we have a chamber of water like in the other calorimeter. It has a little stirrer, and that's where the temperature is being measured and displayed down here. This little zoom in shows us a model of the molecules involved in the reaction. And we can also see that described here in the key and here in the chemical equation. So we have two hydrogen atoms plus oxygen atoms. That's what's in there right now. If we want to see that reaction happen, we'll come down here to the controls and hit play. And that reaction occurs. There's a change in temperature, which we can compare to the starting temperature that they recorded for us. And we'll also see that we have product molecules, so everything got turned into water. Pretty cool thing here. Let's reset it. I could run that reaction in the forward direction or the reverse direction. And you can tell that it flipped around that chemical equation, and now it has water going into hydrogen and oxygen. Let's run that one more time. Let's see what happens with the reverse direction. Oh, so you can see down here in their instructions that no reaction occurred. Let's do the forward one more time. And I want you to take note down here, it summarizes the reaction. It also gives you the experimental change in enthalpy, which is one of the numbers you'll be recording in this lab. One last thing to note is that you'll be switching between 4 different reactions that you can access here. And they all have different molecules you'll be looking at. This one has octasulfate, which is kind of cool. The trickier part of this lab is going to be over, not in the reaction tab, but the investigation tab. These go hand in hand. Let's switch back to reaction 1 again. In this section of the lab, you're going to be taking molecules. So these are, right now we're looking at our reactants for reaction 1. Take them up here, and these little pincers are going to be putting forces on the bonds. So we're going to use those to break bonds. When you click break bond, it'll pull them apart and record how much energy it took to pull that bond apart, pull those atoms apart. You do that again. And you'll go through and do that for each one of the molecules. So this one, see that it's a double bond? We're going to have to hit break bond. It'll record the energy for breaking that first bond, and then we'll have to hit break bond again to get the energy involved in that double bond. Note also that when I was doing this, once an atom is liberated, it's not connected anymore, you have to pull it off. All right, once we've broken apart all of our molecules, we're going to switch over to our product side. So this is a template for water. Down here, it's showed us the total amount of energy it took to break all of the bonds in our reactants, with a total enthalpy absorbed as 1367 kilojoules per mole. So that's if we took a mole of, so actually that would be if we had 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen, broke all of those bonds, it would take a total of 1,367 kilojoules to break all of those bonds. Now that I've done energy absorbed, we're going to switch over to energy released by building those bonds up for your product side. And just like last time, how when we were breaking the bonds apart, we had to do it 1 bond at a time, we have to create our molecules 1 bond at a time. So we did that. Once your molecule is created, you have to pull it off your template. And then we have 1 more water molecule to do. And remember, even for this last molecule, you've made all of them, but take that off the template because then it'll switch over and it'll tell you your theoretical change in enthalpy. And it'll only do that once you pull your last molecule off of its template. Just like before, you can go through and look at each of the reactions that way. And you can also look at their reverse reaction. And again, what that does is it just flips your chemical equation around. That should get you through the lab part. And then go ahead and when you're done with all of that, scroll down and answer these 5 assessment questions. Make sure to check your answers once you're done. And good luck. I hope this will be a fun lab experience.